Thursday Mania. Sorry, yeah, we've been running a little bit. I like to be on it around 20 after, but sometimes I got to circle a few times to get a parking spot when I get in here. Wasn't too bad today. Somebody jumped out. I jumped into their spot, but it took a couple minutes. Okay, now I know we're labeled Doctor Who News, but I just wanted to talk about. I saw a few minutes of the Fallout series last night because they did a big stream of the first couple episodes, I guess, and so I didn't want to ruin it completely because I want to see the whole thing, at once. But I jumped in on a few minutes of it, and just from what I've seen of about 15 minutes or so, maybe a little longer, the storytelling is pretty good. And if they maintain that pace through whole episodes, I don't see why anybody's going crazy, all right? And, well, the thing is, I don't like turning on. A lot of people go, maybe if the lights were better. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to risk my dumb ass leaving a dome light on and going inside. Even though I don't think it would affect anything, I still get paranoid about shit like that. So I don't like turning dome lights on because then I always forget them. But I'm dying laughing because those guys are sitting there screaming about diversity, equity, inclusion. And I'm like, guys, there were no more or less of any type of person in there, just from what I've seen. I'm dying laughing because you've got these blowhards out there now. There's one guy on there, and of course I commented on his channel because he already declared the show woke disaster. And this was like a couple days ago, and it's like, I know for a fact, from what people I've talked to, he was not given an advanced screening of the episodes. Yet he's already declared it a woke disaster. Whatever happened to television? How did we end up going from the keys of Moroness to the keys to Moroness? I'm not kidding. It just freaks me out because it seems like, everybody is just so obsessed with, picking out some hidden agenda. Like, they're the ultimate master of the great new world order. I can see through them. It's like, they sound like they belong over on the Alex Jones channel, whatever. It's just, oh. Kathleen Kennedy is stealing all the left socks on the planet as part of her global conspiracy to make you all into lesbians. I'm like, the kind of crap they come up with is just beyond mind-boggling. And of course, yes, we are. If you saw the little notice that popped up, I believe it was on the Doctor Who Instagram, we are now 1 month away from the, next series premiere. Star babies, solar babies, super babies, whatever. I know, I'm going to miss DVDs, Blu-rays, and all that when they go by the wayside, because they've been a big chunk of my life. Back, way back when, in the ancient times, when I was working for a certain retail outlet, I could sell DVD players left and right, and it was based because the only option you had back then was VHS. And I learned a lot of things about VHS I didn't know. Like, you're always sitting there wondering, how come the picture is not staying into its quality standard? And it turns out, because every time you play it, the heads of your player are pulling that many more little electrons or whatever away from the tape. So the tape loses quality over time, no matter how well you store it. Whereas with a DVD, at least, that's one main selling point is this. I go, look, folks, you don't have to worry about rewinding your DVD. You don't have to worry about a machine eating your DVD. At least not yet. And fortunately, we didn't come up with a way to do that. Because that's one thing I couldn't stand is when you're watching a tape and all of a sudden the machine eats it. And kids claim they got it tough. Huh. I remember when our music came on a cassette, our movies came on a cassette. And if the machine just happened to be in a bad mood that day, you lost your shit. Because it would eat it. Ugh. And yet, it's like they'll never know what it is like to pull your favorite, like Meatloaf or Duran Duran cassette out of the machine and have to grab a pencil and try to save your cassette by pulling it all back in, but it's too late. Simon Le Bon has been killed by your tape heads. But oh man, when I think back to the good old days, or the mixtape you thought was going to get you, I'm definitely going to be getting some because I left a mixtape for my girl. Yeah, too bad that your machine screwed it up and it's all warped. But I did have that happen with a CD once. I made a mix CD once, and it turns out one of the sound files was screwed up, and it didn't burn correctly onto the thing, so. But meanwhile, all right, yep, Doctor Who, less than a month away. Fallout TV series, all 8 episodes are now out. Like I said, I watched like maybe 10, 15 minutes of the first episode, and so far it's holding to the storyline and all that fantastically. So I don't know what these guys are screaming about. Oh yeah, by the way, my newest machine has no burner or player at all. So the newer machines aren't even putting them in anymore. Your DVD, CD, or what do you call it, burners. Because I remember when I got my first CD burner, I was back in like 96. And let's just say there was very little music I had to acquire at the store. Then, of course, we all went through the great Metallica thing because they weren't making enough money. That's why I died laughing when Napster, that's what it was, Metallica and Napster, and I'm like, yeah, because I can see Lars and the gang are out mowing lawns to recoup the money they've lost off from Napster. Now they're going after Spotify and everything else. And the sad part is, in most cases, especially with the copyright laws, it's not usually the band that's doing it. It's the big record companies. They're going in there because they're keeping copyrights on there for like 1 billion years because they want to keep making money off it. They don't want you to use it for free. I have no idea who Jinx Monsoon is. Everybody's been throwing everything they can at the wall. Like a bunch of crazed monkeys at the cage. They're throwing all kinds of shit now at the wall to see what sticks. Napster was shut down by Metallica, pretty much. Because Metallica found out their music was circulating on Napster and all that. So Napster was pretty much dead. But the funny part is there was all kinds of other services still out there. Well, like I said, they're throwing everything at the wall now to see what sticks as far as Doctor Who goes. I have heard nothing about Jinx Monsoon being the master. You have to remember, we're going into a new era, and the rules have changed quite a bit. Because what they've been alluding to is because of what the Doctor did at the edge of the universe during the specials has now opened up the door for a whole nother type of monsters to come through. So that's why they're aiming more towards the supernatural angle. And from what we've seen in a little bit in the trailer, The Devil's Court, I believe, is going to be the name of the episode, if I remember correctly. Wouldn't that be some shit if one of the masters, one of the companions turned out to be secretly the master? I've been undermining everything you've been doing, Doctor. Yeah, but like I said, I'm not getting my hopes up about the monk or anything like that because a lot of people do that. They tend to try to see patterns where that are not there, and they try to say, well, this happened, therefore, and I've done it before myself. So, well, Michelle Gomez left the show of her own accord. Someone just bring, and she has been doing Missy spinoff on Big Finish Audio. If you haven't caught that yet, Misty has had her own series of adventures. But she pretty much said that she felt like her master was more suited to Peter Capaldi, and therefore that's when the whole Scottish mafia left. She went with him. Yeah, I've never met Michelle Gomez. I would love to, but she hasn't been in my area, so. Well, folks, I just noticed the time. I've got to get up, get running inside here in a minute. All I can say is this, watch things for yourself. Don't listen to these other guys who are sitting out there speculating, and don't automatically assume because somebody said it. Yeah, well, yeah, Sylvester's back, Paul McGann's back, and a whole other bunch of good actors and good old fashioned who people. What am I saying? People who are related to Doctor. Also, they've got some Blake 7 guests lined up for Chicago TARDIS this year. So that's kind of weird, but because I watched Blake 7, but I didn't really get into it. I enjoyed it, but it just, didn't grab me, also beyond a certain point. Like I said, I'll rewatch it again. Like I said, it'll take me a little while, but I'll get around to it. But take care, everyone. Be kind, be calm, be safe. We'll see you on the flip side. Enjoy your Thursday. Remember, tomorrow is Friday, but I have to work Saturday, so I don't give a shit. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.